My opinion may be uncommon, but I have always preferred a two-door over a four-door car. To me, a two-door car, it just feels sportier. And if you guys don't have a lot of friends, like myself, come on, I'm sitting here making YouTube videos for you guys. You really don't need those extra doors. It's just weight reduction, bro. Being into the European car scene, there are a few two-door cars that come to mind. And no, we are not talking about the Ford Cosworth RS or the beloved BMW M3. If you guys want to see those cars, put a comment down below, like the video, and we'll cover them in an upcoming episode. But to stay true to the Audi lineup, we are going to be talking about the legendary Audi RS5, baby. Basically, the two-door version of the Audi A4 with a bunch of new goodies under the hood. We're talking about the 4.2-liter V8 all-wheel drive that ate Mustangs for breakfast. Personally, I think the RS5 has some of Audi's most beautiful styling. Maybe not the newest version, I'd say, of the RS5, but the original RS5, perfect. So if you guys want to buy one of the nicest and one of the fastest all-wheel drive Audis out there today, then join me as we dive deep into all you need to know about the Audi RS5. For all of you guys who don't know me, my name is Andrew, and welcome to all you need to know about the Audi RS5. If you guys are new to the channel or a returner, well, welcome. I hope you guys find this video interesting. If you do, consider subscribing and hitting that like button down below. The more of you guys that smash that like button, the more people that will actually be able to see this video and learn something about this really cool car. So without further ado, let's see why the RS5 is by far and away my favorite Audi out there. In 2010, while the world was reeling from the financial crisis of 2008, Audi was finishing up their new RS model that could deliver now supercar performance for a reasonable price. I don't know about you guys, but $70,000 does not seem like a reasonable price. Regardless, Audi considered launching this car even with the world in financial ruins. The new RS model, the RS5, had to be launched now or never, according to Audi management. So, in 2010, Audi released the RS5 to the European market and waited until 2013 to release the RS5 in North America. To make sure that this car wouldn't flop due to the world's current conditions, Audi increased that sporty image that would allow this car to directly compete with the Mercedes CLK63 AMG Black Series and the BMW M2 coupe. Personally, I would take the RS5 and the CLK63 over the M3. Yes, I know that is probably unpopular opinion here, but I've just always gravitated towards cars that most people, I guess, overlook. The new Audi RS5 needed to play the RS role and to stand out from the A5 and the S5 models. Right off the bat though, the first visual upgrades that you will see is a silver front spoiler placed on the bottom of the front bumper with a big intake, a single frame grille with mesh design, and silver side view mirrors. These are all the upgrades that you'll see on the front of an RS5. In the rear, the new RS5 got a beefy exhaust that came with a valve front battery. You guys gotta hear this car. It also got an automatic retracting spoiler, which went up and down depending on the speed of the car. The B8 RS5 was in production from 2010 to 2013, and it did do a visual facelift for the B8 platform in 2013. They called this the B8.5. This included new headlights, a new bumper, and a few other small details around the car. Personally, for me, I absolutely love the B8.5 styling way more than the old styling. It was just more aggressive, and it fit, I think, that RS5 name a little bit better. They also released the RS5 Cabriolet in the B8.5 facelift model. This packaged all of the features that was in the coupe, but it just also included that convertible option. Now for the fun part, guys. What is at the heart of the RS5? Well, if you guys have already seen my episode on the RS4, then this is going to be a little bit of a refresher for you guys. The B8 RS4 used Volkswagen's MLB platform and shared the same powertrain as the RS5. Both cars came with the beautiful 4.2-liter FSI V8 that produced 444 horsepower at 8,250 RPMs and 317 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPMs. Paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic transmission, the RS5 could hit 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.4 seconds and was electronically limited to 155 miles an hour. If you guys take the B8 RS4 and the B8 RS5 and compare the performance, these cars are basically the exact same cars. Personally, for me though, I prefer the RS5 because of that coupe body style. I just gravitate towards those two-door cars like I mentioned earlier. One cool part about this car that many people may not know is the prototype RS5. So get this guys, the original RS5 was supposed to be a V6 TDI that would make 385 horsepower. The car would have came with sequential turbochargers and an electronical supercharger powered by a 48-volt electrical architecture system. If you guys actually think about it, it's probably best that they didn't actually use this option. You know, the whole Dieselgate and all probably wouldn't have worked out well for the RS5. In total, Audi produced the B8.5 RS5 until 2017, when it was replaced by the newer B9 RS5. And damn guys, they really changed some things up. Personally, I don't think they changed them up for the best, but you guys will have to let me know what you think. The newest generation RS5 was released in 2017. I personally remember when this car was released and I loved the body styling of the new B9 RS5. This new generation was more aggressive than the previous generation, and it came with sharper lines but keeping still that traditional body coupe styling. Many of the design cues were inspired by the Audi 90 IMSA GTO race car, but since the bodywork was basically redone over 1,000 times by management, by the time the RS5 was ready, the only parts that were actually remaining were the black rear view mirrors and a small air scoop mounted on the front grille. But what can you do? I guess that's how it happens when you go through styling. I feel like if Audi actually kept this 90 IMSA GTO race car look, this thing would have been absolutely sick. Like, the car was already amazing, but just imagine these two cars meshed together. The new RS5 would be powered by a 2.9 TSFI V6 twin-turbo engine, which made 444 horsepower at 6,700 RPMs and could output 443 foot-pounds of torque at 5,000 RPMs. With a new and improved 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission and, can't forget the Quattro all-wheel drive, the RS5 could rocket to 63 miles an hour in 3.9 seconds and was electronically limited to a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It seems like all these Euro cars are limited to 155 miles an hour. Like, I don't know here in the US where we're ever gonna get up to that speed, but I guess over in Europe, you guys got the Autobahn, which I really wish we had one of those over here. Most recently, in 2020, Audi did a facelift for the B9 RS5. Like the B8.5, most of the facelift parts were all visual components. But it just seems like every time Audi does any type of facelift, they always knock the new design out of the park. Like, look at the B9.5 RS5. I personally love the look of the B9.5 coupe for the RS5, but Audi also released a Sportback version for the RS5. To me, the RS5 Sportback, it looks a lot like a smaller RS7, which to me just doesn't really fit the RS5. I look at the RS5 as Audi's premier coupe option. That's just the way I look at it as. If Audi wanted to bring another sedan or Sportback to the US market, just bring us the RS4. We haven't had one since the B7, and I know people would love to have an RS4 here in the US. If you also keep the RS5 as that coupe option, now you're competing directly with the BMW M2 and the M4. That's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. The Audi B9.5 RS5 is an absolute beast of a car. with more technology and crazier performance than the previous generation. But the true question that probably all of you guys are wondering is, what can you expect to pay for one of these cars? So let's go dive into the information and let's see what one of these cars are worth. What are the RS5 selling for? The RS5 price range have remained high over the years. And if you guys are looking and have the money to buy one of these cars, it's almost guaranteed that you guys are going to lose very little money on your purchase. If you guys are looking to purchase the original RS5, the B8, well, you guys are going to have to shell out a good amount of money for this car. A lower mileage around 40,000 miles for a B8 will cost you around 45,000 US dollars, or about 38,000 euros. If this is too much money for you guys and you guys are willing to, get a higher mileage car, say around 100,000 miles for an RS5, this is going to run you still around 30,000 US dollars, or around 25,000 euros. As you guys can see, a higher mileage RS5 still holds their value incredibly well, which to me, I think it's mostly due to that V8 that's under the hood. A quick hack for all you guys living in the US. If you guys don't want to spend that crazy money to buy a B8 RS5, well, look at buying a B8 S5 from 2007 to 2012. This generation of B8 came with a very similar 4.2 liter V8 under the hood with a manual option, or the traditional DSG that was found in the RS5. These cars can range from around 13,000 US dollars all the way up to $24,000 for a super low mileage example. The S5 obviously doesn't come with all the RS5 visual effects, but for the money, it may be an option that people may consider. Now, if you guys are looking for the newest generation, the B9 RS5, well, expect to shell out more than the B8 generations. New, you can buy a B9 RS5 for 75,000 US dollars, or 64,000 euros. If you guys are looking to buy a used B9 RS5, well, they are still damn expensive, ranging from 58,000 US dollars all the way up to still MSRP value, which I think that's just due mostly to how low mileage many of these cars are, and that they're the newest generation. These cars are obviously not the cheapest option, and being the newest generation, their values, like I said, will remain high until the next generation of RS5s come out. Things that you should look out for when buying an RS5. When buying an RS5, there are a few things that you guys should look out for, especially with the B8 generations. After looking through several forums, the biggest complaint of the RS5 that owners have mentioned are the brake wear. It appears that the OEM pads wear incredibly fast, and upgrading pads solve this problem. A lot of enthusiasts go to, say, Hawk pads, and it solves that problem really easily, and it's also a pretty affordable price. In addition, the beautiful 4.2 liter V8 is a pretty thirsty car and drinks oil for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you guys are going to buy one of these cars, make sure that the oil has been topped off and it hasn't been left to run dry. The last major thing to look out for is the timing chains on a higher mileage RS5. Now, the B7 RS4 are known for having timing chain failures at around 100,000 miles. And you might be wondering, why does that matter? Well, the B8 RS5 motor is an updated motor with new timing chain guides compared to the B7 RS4 motor. These chains should be fine in the B8 RS5, but because it came and is derived from that B7 RS4 motor, it's just a potential that that could be an issue, and you want to check to make sure that those timing chains are okay, because if those timing chains fail, you guys are looking at a very expensive repair bill and potentially a new motor in your car. Modifications. When it comes to modifications though, there is one RS5 that I think is superior over the other generation. Both of these generations of the RS5 are amazing handling and performance vehicles, but if you want to get any large horsepower increases out of the B8 RS5, you're going to have to spend a lot of money, guys, to get anything out of this car. The B8 RS5 comes with that beautiful 4.2 liter V8, but with a software tuned intake and exhaust, you're maybe only gonna get 20 horsepower or 20 foot-pounds of torque out of this car. I've seen some people go all out and install supercharger kits on these cars, but they're gonna run you over $20,000 in parts. And that amount of money is just not realistic, I would say, for most people to modify and upgrade their car. Even though you will be getting 625 horsepower and 530 foot-pounds of torque, it's just more money than I think the average person is willing to spend. Lastly, the B9 RS5 has recently seen some really nice performance upgrades coming from this car. With a simple tune like an intake and exhaust, people are seeing around 85 wheel horsepower included and 100 foot-pounds of torque, which I think is a great option for a lot of people who are looking to buy, say, one of these B9 RS5s. I personally love that 4.2 liter V8. You can't really beat the sound and the feeling that you get out of that car. And many YouTubers have compared both of these generations and have said that same thing. But if you guys are looking for tunability and the best bang for your buck to get power out of the car, the B9 RS5 generation really is your best option for modifications. The Audi RS5 personally is my favorite RS car available today. Yeah, I know many of you guys are probably shocked by this, but there's just something about that B8.5 RS5 design and that beautiful V8 under the hood. Like, just sit here and listen to this clip of the exhaust on this car. If I really think about it, the only thing that this car is missing is a manual transmission, which you can get in the B8 S5. If you guys are looking for a sporty but luxury coupe, well, then the RS5 would be a great choice for you. It has a leg up on its competitors such as the BMW M2 and the AMG because of its superior all-wheel drive system. The RS5 has a lot to offer for the average driver or the car enthusiast. I've heard many raving reviews about both the B8 RS5 and the B9 RS5, but for some reason, when they are always compared side by side, it just always seems like people choose that B8 over the B9. Personally, I think it has to do with the engine and the more manual inputs that you get out of the car. It just allows drivers to feel more engaged while driving, and it's just not like you're there for the ride like you are with the B9 RS5. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment sections down below. Out of both the B8 and B9 RS5, which one would you choose and why? Let me know, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed this look into the Audi RS5. If you guys enjoyed this video, go down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see more all you need to know episodes, let me know in the comment sections down below which cars you guys would like me to do. Any cars, any brands, any models are welcome here. Until next time, guys, this is Andrew. Peace out.